So we are live today again, and this time I'm hoping my phone doesn't overheat. I think I cleared up a few things on it because it almost blew up yesterday. Let me just make sure everything's up and running here, and we'll be all set. Okay. So yesterday, we did combat. I had to break it up into two streams. All right, today I want to do the next step where India finally gets to, react to everything that's been going on. That is the reaction movement segment. The non-initiative player may move all of his units up to the extent of their movement allowance. Air, mobile, and sea are allowed. Okay, so I did some of this pretty late last night. Here's what I want to do. And when you see me marking all over my plexiglass, you know some serious shit's going down. So let's take a look at what I want to do. From Cargill, I got to looking, I was looking up here at India and what they have to react to this. I saw this air mobile point, and I really just couldn't resist. I have to use it, so I can't resist using it. And they had 2 air points. I want to air mobile a unit into Kashmir Valley and provide air escort. That's my plan. Now, here's everything I did off camera. There was a unit here, 5105, the 70th Brigade. It's Mountain Brigade. They moved up to Baltao. Okay. A unit from Cargill moved up to occupy the crossroads. Okay. The 79th Mountain moved out of this airfield up to here to provide backup at Baramulla. Okay, that's what the arrows are for. Now the big one. There was a unit, obviously Bandipora is threatened by this Pakistani 80th Brigade. Okay? He's been going through the mountains this whole time. I'm taking this unit from Cargill. I'm going to use the air mobile point. All right, this might be a little bit nuts. And I'm going to go up. You can't fly over high mountains. Game series rules prevent it. Up over this 323rd Pakistani Mountain Brigade, down through the gap, and land here. And I'm going to try to do it without either getting shot down with Pakistani air advantage to get my transport through the air, avoiding all the air cover they have and things like that. So you'll note that I had some calculations. I'm going to make the roll live. It's a die roll where you need to get, you have to survive the air defense fire. When the firing site has advantage of 5 through 9 is what you need to succeed. It's -1 because I flew over an enemy unit, but it's +1 because I devoted 1 point, I had 2 down to 1, for air escort. The Republic of India realizes they got a serious problem in the Kashmir Valley, and they want to get people into the valley quickly. And I'm like, I can't just have that air mobile point just sit there. It drives me nuts. So I'm going to use it. So let me clean up the board, and that's the move we're going to do. So we need to make our live roll. Okay. So that's who moved here. So we're not going to move there. The Chinese are still threatening down here. I'm not too worried about it. I still have a helicopter and a unit here in Srinagar. Okay. There's reinforcements coming. So let's get rid of these. All right. So we're all cool. We know we're caught up on what everyone did. I don't suppose it's crazy if I was the Pakistani player to use an air mobile point and drop someone into Cargill, but I don't know. It's a hard thing. Soloing, you don't really know you know, you can't add in unpredictability. So, all right, so the first thing I want to do is drop him in there. Let's get rid of this arrow. We know the path. It's 24 hex range. I can't fly over high mountains. I had to fly over an enemy unit. All right, so we have to make the roll. So here's our air defense table. Firing side has advantage. You can get abort where you just go back and nothing happens, or you could take a step loss if there's an asterisk. I need to roll high here. There's no modifier to the die roll, okay? So let's see what happens. Here we go. And of course I knocked everything over like I always do. All right, the roll is a 4. So that's not gonna do it, I don't think. That's an abort. Well, that sucks. All right, so I just barely missed it. It's an abort with a -1. Number of air points or attack helo points which do not support the combat. Okay, so there's no combat there, so that doesn't matter. But it is an abort. Abort. All aborted units are returned to their starting hex. Aborted helos are rotated. Air mobile points are considered spent. Okay, well, it doesn't work. Pakistan's so firmly embedded with the air support that they're not able to get through. They're forced, the Republic of India is forced to turn around and go back, and they land again in Kargil. And so that didn't work. So I think we're looking at, we might end up losing this town. So it was worth a shot, right? But it, didn't work out too well. So with all the other movement done, I want to try another first, and that's going to be, I've decided to blow this bridge here. Let me just move that camera. I'm going to blow the bridge, and we'll go over that since it's the first time for new people. Again, this will be a pretty short stream today, so I just want to show what I did last night. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe here. Pakistan has captured the town of Uri. The fort's been taken, removed. Man, I'm having some trouble this morning. I think I need more caffeine. All right. So I don't want them getting, this is a pretty big urban center here. I think that would require a clearing action though, but I don't want to even get them close. There is a bridge here, okay? In this game, it's not on the map, so let's just go over those rules real quick. Hopefully the volume's all right, I think. Let me just test it out, make sure. Hopefully the volume's all right. Okay, so the rules in this one are bridges. Any hex side where a secondary, primary, highway, or bridge cross a river hex side of any type is considered a bridge. Right here, right there. We're gonna blow that bridge. You are adjacent to a bridge hex side if the hex contains an entire hex side where the bridge crosses a river. Yeah, right here, entire hex side. And they are also adjacent. That will cause a delay in me trying to blow that bridge. Okay. Now I do think that for this scenario, if I'm not mistaken, is there a penalty for victory points? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna end up giving Pakistan a victory point. I think. Each time a player destroys a bridge in a friendly country, award the other player a victory point. Yeah, so I gotta do it, right? It's looking bad. Look what's coming down the road here. Okay, so let's blow a bridge. All right, we're looking at the game rules for next door India, Pakistan. We'll be looking at that right there on page 3. Ground unit, bridge destruction. The moving player, that's me right now. We're in the reaction movement segment. Okay. The moving player may attempt to destroy bridges. The player may only attempt bridge destruction if there is a friendly ground unit in a hex which contains a bridge hex side. Okay, clear? The 19th division is there. Only one attempt per bridge per friendly movement segment may be made. Units under a clearing marker cannot attempt to destroy a bridge. To make the attempt, roll a die. The bridge is destroyed on a roll of 6 or less. The attempt fails on 7 or more. There's a +1 modifier if an enemy ground unit is also in a hex containing that same bridge hex side. So Pakistan sees India wiring this bridge, and they're doing all they can to get across it and stop it from being blown. So there's +1 to the roll. So I need to roll a die. All right. And I need to stay less than 6. Adding 1, here we go. All right, let's try for our first bridge blow. Here we go. That sounds bad. That's what she said. 2. Okay, ba-boom. All right, that bridge is gone. Okay. If the bridge is destroyed, mark it with a bridge destroyed marker. The road connection is considered destroyed until repaired. All right. Now, just in case this happened, I did clip and get out a bridge destruction. All right. Goodbye. So let's put it like right like that to kind of show. They did provide things that you could lay on the spine, a bridge destroyed thing, but I threw it out. I didn't read, and I threw it away. So anyway, there might be some in next war Poland I can get out. Okay, the bridge goes down, and I think that's going to be it for the Indian reaction movement segment, and we go on to reaction combat segment of turn 1. We're still on turn 1, by the way. I didn't realize there was all this movement in combat in one turn. The non-initiative player performs combat. All units are eligible whether they moved or not. Okay, is there anywhere that India wants to strike? They do have a helo point. They do have helicopter assistance. They do have air point assistance. But right now, this is looking... I know what you're thinking. Well, he is in the mountains. 7-3 is pretty tempting. I think that's like 2-1. But in the mountains, let me just take a look at the table real quick here. It's really tempting to strike that unit. Do they have a step loss? They do. But I mean, they're so like surrounded here that, man, I don't even know. Do you make small attacks like that? I don't know. I could throw in some helicopter support. I'm really frustrated that I failed that super air mobile attempt, but man, what are you gonna do, you know? I rolled bad. It was a risky roll, but do I want to make this attack? All right, let's see. Defenders in mountains. So we look at our attack chart here. And you go by the defender's hex, right? And I think that it's pretty even. Well, if you put me in column 6, now I think there's a special rule for mountain units. Let me just take a look here if I even want to bother with this. They get a +1, -1 combat die roll as a defender in a highland, mountain, or high mountain. Okay, so they would both get that as attacker defender. So that would bounce off of each other. Well, that's a tough call because I know Pakistan's going to attack that hex next turn. It's just a matter of, do I want to try to weaken that unit or just hold on? I mean, what have I got to lose? Let's see, can I end up getting a retreat? Could it be that disastrous? If I roll high, I could get wiped out. I'd have to throw everything I have, but there is also a basic, there's another movement and combat segment coming up. Pakistan gets to go again next for basic movement and combat. Jesus. Well, let's do this first. Let's give a victory point to Pakistan here for that bridge blow. I really want to pick on that unit. I mean, I could pick on this one too, just to see if I could weaken it, like a probing attack or something. Then I could throw in an air point and a helicopter. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. I don't think I can get over that. Crap. I mean, he's only got a range of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, he can make it. So for high mountains, attack helicopter support is not allowed for either the attacker or defender in there. Attack helicopters may not trace their range path through them. Okay. All right. The only capital urban hex is Islamabad. Players earn VP for normal. However, it does not count. Okay. I mean, it's not overpowering. Let's just see here. Or maybe do I even just pull out of there? God, I don't know. That guy's in deep shit. Well, this is a tough call. I don't know if I should make that attack or not. I guess we could try to figure it out and see what happens. All right, so if you haven't seen my combat video, let's go over it and figure some stuff out here, shall we? All right. Declare your hex being attacked and indicates the attacking units. Once an attack is declared, it must be resolved. All right, we're back for the second half of the Indian reaction combat. So I figured out what that means, and that means it's not if the division does not produce a clean ratio. Like instead of it being 2 to 1, it's like 1.8 to 1, where it's not quite 2 to 1. That's where you shift down. So it is 2 to 1. All right, so we're doing, we're going to strike and do a probe here, mountain unit against mountain unit. 2 to 1 odds in the mountain, and then we're going to add some fun stuff in here. We're going to do air support of 1 point, which you can see here. Let me bring this in a little bit. We're going to do air support of 1. And then we're going to try to bring Republic of India Rudra helicopter in to support the combat also. So these are 2 mountain units facing off against each other. India sees a weak Pakistan unit. They want to try to probe and do some damage to it before they're expecting a big attack on the border here. Now those are 2 mountain infantry units. Normally, if you look on the game rules, you will see right there's a +1, -1 combat DRM for a defender attacker. That's going to bounce here because they're both the same, and that's on page 5 in the game standard rules. So you want to watch out for that, okay? All right, so we have another combat here, kids. So let's zoom out a little bit here, and we're going to pull back, and I'll show you where I always do all my math. So the mountain modifier bounces at +1, -1, so that's not used, right? Okay, it's 2 to 1 for India. Defenders in a mountain hex. okay? Turn on a little bit more. All right, and we go through the combat calculations like we did before. Okay, we've declared our attack. The efficiency rating, there's no column shift for that. They're both a 6 efficiency rating. Both are at 6, so these are highly elite mountain units. There won't be a shift for that. If there is a remainder in the odds ratio and the attack strength exceeds the defense strength, the attacker gets a -1 DRM. There was a remainder in the odds ratio. Okay, so there's a -1 DRM for the attacker. So we're at -1. All right, what else do we have here? Combat support allocation. The attacker allocates air points and attack helicopters. All right, India's gonna smash hard. This unit's exposed. They wanna take that Pakistani unit out. It's exposed, it's crossed into their border. They're relying on the fact that the mountain division it's greater than the brigade. They're in a combat outpost. They're feeling strong here. They're on a fortification. You're gonna get struck. So air point here, helicopter traces 10. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's not go over him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Helicopter in air. Bam, major strike right there. All right. Determine the proper odds ratio. Okay, so now you could use, again, you could use the chart here. And let me zoom out. I could put the combat chart here. Man, I don't think I showed this the last time. So far we're at -1 DRM, depending on what happens with the air support. And we are in 2-to-1 mountain. We're right here in this column so far. So that's kind of how you use that. All right, let's flip back over here. All right. Air defense we have to do, and let's just check. There's no multiple hex. It's not armor advantage. There's no mechanized advantage. Infantry. Doubled when in an urban hex. Nope. Efficiency column shift. You designate your attacking lead unit. It's 6 and 6. Nothing there. No city fort column shift. Exploitation. Nope. Surprise. Nope. Okay. I think we're ready to do air support. Okay. Air defense. Here we go. We've had a lot of this game because air power is figuring prominently here. That's where this table comes in. All right, let's see what we got. This will help us determine what the die roll. So far, it's a -1 die roll. Okay, due to the odds ratio remainder. Okay, I'm going to mark that over here. Odds ratio remainder. So we're at -1. There's no column shifts so far. All right, air defense players. A mission is defined as all air points in each individual. So we get 2 rolls. Any unit that begins air mobile movement in an enemy country. Okay, no, we're good. He's still in his country. All right, the player resolving ADF locates the column that represents the current air superiority level. All right. The firing side has advantage. The flying side doesn't have any of this. The firing side has this. Pakistan has air superiority advantage. So we're going to have a pretty rough table here. All right, the helicopter. Here we go. All right, does the helicopter get through? Let's check the die roll here. I'll zoom out. Helicopter. Oh, 4. Oh, we got to check for die roll modifications. We'll keep that roll. The target hex is within 2 hexes of an enemy airfield or installation. Nope. The target hex is adjacent to a hex containing armor or mechanized. Nope. Attack helicopters flew over enemy unit. No. +1 per air escort point. Nope. No. Okay. All right, so there's no modifiers to the die roll. So it's a 4, and that's gonna be helicopter abort -1. All right, number of air points or attack helo points which do not support the combat. Okay, the helicopter is not able to support the combat, so he goes back. Well, that's a bummer. All right, he rebases in Srinagar. He's ineffective. Air points need to get through. Here we go again. No modifiers to the die roll. The Pakistani Air Force is out in strength supporting their invasion of India, and the Indian Air Force is having trouble getting through supporting its units way up there, and the die roll is a 5. Advantage 5 is it got through. Okay. Right there. Advantage 5. So the air power gets through to strike, and that's going to be -1 DRM, I believe. So that's -2 now to the die roll, to the attack, thanks to air power. Indian Air Force gets through, and they're able to get some missiles and some bombs in there. All right. Now, if you read the rule on air points may be allocated. Yeah, okay. Each point which survives air defense modifies the die roll in favor of the allocating player. All right. Yeah, so -1 die roll. Okay. -1's in favor of the attacker. All right. So I think we're ready to go here. Let me make sure we got everything. Okay. There's no multi-formations, no combined attacks. There's no combat strength modifiers. There's no column shifts. I think it's, so we're ready for a straight up roll. We're at -2 to the roll. Let's go to the combat table. All right, India with a probing attack. Let's go over here. And there we go. Let's roll down this table. Let's see what happens. 0. Wow, that is impressive. That is a very good roll. Okay, so we go here and we look. We're gonna zoom in. This might hurt. Okay, we got, all right, we're here and we rolled a 0. No loss for the Indian mountain troops. A 1 retreat for Pakistan. All right, that is a step loss and a retreat. Wow, okay, very effective probe. India dealing some damage here. All right, the air point, they come in, they do their job, strike, fly out, they're out of air points. All right, so the probe is successful and India decimates the Pakistan 323rd Mountain Brigade. They take a step loss, so they will be flipped. Now remember, there's no ZOCs being emanated here due to the mountains. All right, I don't think we've covered retreats yet, so let's do that and we'll close out this video and I'll upload it. So there's some combat going down. Now, even though my air mobile drop failed to defend here, this unit is in trouble. He's gonna be cut off because he's gonna be all alone on this side of the high mountains. So this could be a last gasp. I'm not using supply rolls, but it would be interesting to look those up. Okay, so I'm gonna turn him to let me know that he did his thing, and really that's all the attacks I can do. And so we know we blew this bridge. We failed to airdrop there. He got retreated back. And the helicopters got repulsed, but a nasty strike here. So we have a retreat, and let's read what happens on retreats. That was nasty. Okay, retreats. When the defending unit is forced to retreat, each unit in hex must retreat the full number of hexes called for by the terrain which they occupied during the combat. Okay. Oh, is that not a step loss? Yeah, it is a step loss, right? A 1R is what? Oh, units retreating, retreat 2. Okay, so mountain has us cross. Units defending in this terrain or in cities or forts may voluntarily ignore retreat results on the CRT by passing an ER check. Interesting. Okay. All right, so I have to, so units defending in non-city, flat woods, rough, marsh, retreat 2. Units in the other type retreat 1. If a stack of units must retreat, each unit in the stack retreats individually. Retreating units may retreat to separate hexes. Retreat restrictions. Retreat units cannot end in the enemy's EOC or installation. Only light infantry may go across an unbridged river hex side. Voluntarily ignoring retreat results. Okay, this is interesting. Would Pakistan want it? They've already lost a step. What does that do? Units in urban, highland, or mountain may voluntarily attempt to ignore retreat results. Such units make an efficiency rating check against the lowest in the stack. If it fails, they retreat as normal or lose an additional step. If it passes, they ignore the retreat. Only one roll. You know what? They're elite. God, they're down to 5 though. Let's see how the ER check works. I don't think I've ever done this. It's used for ER checks. When making a check, roll 1 die. If the die roll is equal to or less than the ER, the unit passes. Units with a rating of 6 are considered elite. So I'd have to roll 5 or less on a D10. It's 50-50. Do you count the efficiency rating before or after you flip it for the step loss? I'm going to say after. Does Pakistan want to retreat 1? Oh, that's a tough one. Boy, I don't know. All right, let's do this. I'm going to have to decide with dice, I think, because I'm not sure what Pakistan would do here. All right, 6 through 10, 6 through 0, they try to ignore the retreat. That's a 1. All right, they do retreat. They go back across the border into Pakistan. All right, advance after combat is only permissible for the attacking player. Whenever a defender's hex is vacated, the attacker must advance at least 1 attacking unit of his choice into the hex. Uh-oh. There we go. That may have been a stupid idea. I forgot about that. Shit. Uh-oh. That's probably not good. I just left that outpost wide open. Oops. Oh, shit. Okay, so, yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. Oops. That could be a huge military blunder. We'll have to see what happens. So India, in its zeal, decides to pursue at least to the border and backs Pakistan out. But at the same time, they leave the outpost there. Boy, oh boy, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. All right, so that's it for the Indian reaction combat segment. We're on to basic movement and combat phase. We're almost done with the turn. We do have to do this. It is confirmed. Then we go here. I know it's been a long ride, but at least you got to see the game in action, and I think that could be a major mistake. Even though that Pakistani unit was mauled, I forgot about that advance after combat. So before my battery wears out, which it's telling me it's low, I'm going to go ahead and upload this, combine it with my previous stream, and we'll make one giant video. Thanks for watching. Gamer.Hudson for Instagram, where I post IGTV videos and get people caught up with things. And then, as always, check my Twitch channel at Twitch Wargamer. Thanks for watching.